Okay, the number of receptacles on a circuit other than dwelling units. One of the questions I get asked, and I can see happen all the time, is, well, there's a limit to the number of receptacles or lights in a dwelling unit. There, of course, is no limit to the number of lights or receptacles on a general lighting circuit in a dwelling unit. Just simply have to determine the number of circuits. Now, when you come into commercial occupancies, however, there is a limit to the number of receptacles that you can place on a circuit. You can put lights and receptacles on a circuit, so there's no calculation how to work that one out. But there is a calculation how many receptacles can place on a circuit. Let's take a look at the rule that we're going to talk about here. Let's look at the textbook. The maximum number of receptacles permitted on a commercial branch circuit is calculated by dividing the circuit VA rating by 180 VA for each receptacle yoke. Now, here is a 20 amp circuit, 120 volts. You take the volt times the amps, it gives you the VA. And if you know the VA of the circuit, you divide it by 180 VA, and that rule is 220.14I, which is the 180 VA, and that will give you, for a 20 amp circuit, 13.3 receptacles, and of course you can have more than a fraction of a receptacle. Then we have 13 receptacles, well, it's not really receptacles, it's receptacle yokes. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 receptacle yokes. And in this calculation, or rather this example here, we actually have 26 receptacle outlets. Is that right? Because that's 2 receptacles on a yoke, 2 receptacles on a yoke. So it's not really the number of receptacles, it's the number of receptacle yokes. Now, people say, well, I don't know about that, Mike. Well, let's take a look at the NFPA handbook graphic right here. And this is the graphic right here that shows us the number of receptacles right here. If you have a 15 amp circuit, you can do the math there. We probably should have another graphic on 15 amps. 15 times 120 is what, guys? Is that 1920?
1800.
1800.
1800. Well, that's a beautiful one, right? 18 divided by 180 gives you what? 10 outlets. And they use the word outlets, which is, okay, sufficient for now. And they also show that 13 outlets are on a 20 amp circuit. So this is not directly, absolutely a language in the code that's as clear as we'd like it to be, but the NFPA handbook does a fantastic job of explaining that. And so that's, I think, good enough for me, for us to be able to communicate how many receptacles can go on a 15 amp circuit in a commercial or other than dwelling occupancy. The answer is 10. How many receptacles, meaning 15 or 20 ampere 125 volt receptacles, can place on a 20 amp circuit in other than dwelling occupancies? The answer is 13. And that is in the NFPA handbook that gives us the information, same section, 220.14I. Hope that information is helpful for you. God bless.